Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for our second session of Dear for Thursday, April 9th, and we are about to start chapter 14. For those of you at home lucky enough that have a book, you're on page 240. For those of you following us online with this latest version, we're on page 107. Again, yesterday, or the most recent reading, Maverick has discovered that Star has the Caucasian boyfriend. There was some aftermath with that. There's also concern about Star as she's getting ready to give her I don't want to call it a speech, but her side of the story to the actual police. So as we're moving forward, and we know that 115's father is about to give a speech as well. But right now, Star has just taken a walk, left Carlos's house to clear her mind, and we're about to find out where she ends up. Just like it says, I end up at Maya's house. Truth be told, that's the farthest I can go in Uncle Carlos's neighborhood before the houses start looking the same. It's weird. It's that weird time between day and night when the sky looks like it's on fire and mosquitoes are on the hunt. All of the lights at the Yang house are already on, which is a lot of lights. Their house is big enough for me and my family to live with them and have a little wiggle room. There's a blue Infiniti coupe with a dented bumper in the circular driveway. Haley can't drive and we see the S word, so she can't drive very well. No lie, it stings. It stings a little knowing they hang out without me. That's what happens when you live so far away from your friends. I can't get mad about it. Jealous maybe, but not mad. Have you guys ever had that frustration? I'm sure now, as we're in quarantine, we don't get to see our friends as much as we'd like to, even on FaceTime. Sometimes it's hard to connect at the same time. Some of you are taking care of siblings. Some of you may have to take on extra chores around the house, all those kinds of things. So we can relate in our own little way about not being able to see our friends as much as we'd like to. That protest stuff, though, now that makes me mad. Mad enough to ring the doorbell. Besides, I told Maya the three of us could talk, so fine, we'll talk. And what protests are they talking about? That's right, at school, Garden Heights, at her prep school, the majority white student population walked out protesting justice for Khalil, whereas Star felt it was just an excuse to get out of class, and she chose to sit back and protest the protest, if you will. So maybe the three of us could talk, and then now they're about to have their discussion. So again, she's rang the doorbell at Maya's house. Mrs. Yang answers, her Bluetooth headset around her neck. Star! She beams and hugs me. So good to see you. How is everyone? Good, I say. She announces my arrival to Maya and lets me in. The aroma of Miss Yang's seafood lasagna greets me in the foyer. I hope it's not a bad time, I say. Not at all, sweetie. Maya's upstairs. Haley, too. You're more than welcome to join us for dinner. No, George, I wasn't talking to you, she says into her headset, then mouths at me, my assistant, and rolls her eyes a little. So the assistant was on the phone thinking he was getting invited for dinner, but not the case. I smile and take off my Nike Dunks. In the Yang house, shoe removal is part of Chinese tradition. Part Mrs. Yang likes people to feel comfy? That's weird. I'm not sure where. Somehow, we just lost our page. So just give me a second. I was trying to figure out that sentence there, and we lost our page. But I smile and take off my shoes. As they say in the Yang house, shoe removal is part Chinese tradition. Part Mrs. Yang likes people to be comfy. So it's part tradition and part the mom caring and making sure everyone feels right at home. Maya races down the stairs wearing an oversized t-shirt and basketball shorts that almost hang to her ankles. Star! She reaches the bottom, and there's this awkward moment where her arms are out like she wants to hug me, but she starts lowering them. I hug her anyway. It's been a while since I got a good Maya hug. Her hair smells like citrus, and she hugs all tight and motherly. Maya leads me to her bedroom. White Christmas lights hang from the ceiling. There's a shelf for video games, Adventure Time memorabilia all around, and Haley in a beanbag chair, concentrating on the basketball players she's controlling on Maya's flat screen. So obviously they're playing some sort of video game. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys could name some for me. I wish we were together so you could shout them all out and tell me what you're playing. Can you tell I miss you guys? All right, so they're playing video games. Look who's here, Hales, Maya says. Haley glances up at me. Hey, hey. It's awkward central in here. I step over an empty Sprite can and a bag of Doritos and sit in the other beanbag chair. Maya closes her door. An old school poster of Michael Jordan in his famous Jumpman pose is on the back. Maya belly flops onto her bed and grabs a controller off the floor. You want to join in, Star? Yeah, sure. She hands me a third controller and we start a new game. The three of us against a computer controlled team. It's a lot like when we play in real life, a combination of rhythm, chemistry, and skill. But the awkwardness in the room is so thick it's hard to ignore. They keep glancing at me. I keep my eyes on the screen. The animated crowd cheers as Haley's player makes a three-pointer. Nice shot, I say. Okay, cut the crap. Haley grabs the TV remote and flicks the game off, turning to a detective show instead. Why are you mad at us? Why did you protest? Since she wants to cut to the crap, may as well get right to it. Because, she says, like that's reason enough. I don't see what the big deal is, Star. You said you didn't know him. Why does that make a difference? Isn't a protest a good thing? Not if you're only doing it to cut class. So you want us to apologize for it, even though everybody else did it too? Haley asks. Just because everyone else did it doesn't mean it's okay. I sound like my mother. Guys, stop, Maya says. Haley, if Star wants us to apologize, fine, we can apologize. Star, I'm sorry for protesting. It was stupid to use a tragedy just to get out of class. We look out at Haley. She sits back and folds her arms. I'm not apologizing when I didn't do anything wrong. If anything, she should apologize for accusing me of being racist last week. Wow, I say. One thing that irks the hell out of me about Haley, the way she can turn an argument around and make herself the victim. She's a master at this. I used to fall for it, but now I'm not apologizing for what I felt, I say. I don't care what your intention was, Haley. That fried chicken comment felt racist to me. Fine, she says. Just like I felt it was fine to protest since I won't apologize for that or for what I felt, and you won't apologize for what you felt. I guess we'll just watch TV. Fine, I say. Maya grunts like it's taking everything in her not to choke us. You know what? If you two want to be this stubborn, fine. Maya flicks through channels. Haley does that BS. Maya flicks through channels. Haley does that BS move where you look at someone out of the corner of your eye, but you don't want them to know that you care enough to look, so you avert your eyes. So that idea of being aware without making eye contact. At this point, it's whatever. I thought I came to talk, but yeah, I really want an apology. I look at TV, a singing competition, a reality show, 115, a celebrity dance. Wait, back up, I tell Maya. She flicks through the channels, and when he appears again, I say, right there. I've pictured his face so much. Actually seeing it again is different. My memory is pretty spot on. A thin, jagged scar above his lip, bursts of freckles that cover his face and neck. My stomach churns and my skin crawls, and I want to get away from 115. Again, 115 is the officer who shot her best friend. My instinct doesn't care that it's a photograph being shown on TV. A silver cross pendant hangs from his neck, like he's saying Jesus endorses what he did. We must believe in a different Jesus. What looks like an older version of him appears on the screen, but this man doesn't have the scar on his lip, and there are more wrinkles on his neck than freckles. He has white hair, although there's still some streaks of brown in it. My son was afraid for his life, he says. He only wanted to get home to his wife and kids. Pictures flash on the screen. 115 smiles with his arms draped around a blurred-out woman. He's on a fishing trip with two small blurred-out children. They show him with a smiley golden retriever, with his pastor and some fellow deacons who are all blurred out, and then in his police uniform. So they're painting this picture of the Good Samaritan. The dog goes to church, he works, all these details that the media is trying to portray. Officer Brian Cruz Jr. has been in the force for 16 years, the voiceover says, and more pics of him as a cop are shown. He's been a cop for as long as Khalil was alive, and I wonder if in some sick twist of fate, Khalil was only born for this man to kill. A majority of those years have been spent serving in Garden Heights, the voiceover continues, a neighborhood notorious for gangs and drug dealers, so suggesting that he was there to save the neighborhood. I tense as footage of my neighborhood, my home, is shown. It's like they picked the worst parts, again, as news and fake news. For those of you who have kept up with your vocabulary, you've learned more about what fake news is all about and how things are portrayed a certain way so you feel a certain way. Right now, they're trying to make us think of the officer as a good Samaritan coming to save the day. It's likely they picked the worst parts: the drug addicts roaming the streets, the broken down Cedar Grove projects, gangbangers flashing signs, bodies on the sidewalks with white sheets over them. What about Miss Rooks and her cakes? Or Mr. Lewis and his haircuts? Mr. Rubin? The clinic? My family? Me? I feel Haley's and Maya's eyes are on me. I can't even look at them. My son loved working in the neighborhood, 115's father claims. He always wanted to make a difference in the lives there. Funny, slave masters thought they were making a difference in black people's lives too, saving them from their wild African ways. Same boop, different century. I wish people like them would stop thinking that people like me need saving. 115 Senior talks about his son's life before the shooting, how he was a good kid who never got into trouble, always wanted to help others, a lot like Khalil. But then he talks about the stuff 115 did that Khalil will never get to do, like go to college, get married, have a family. The interviewer asks about that night. Apparently, Brian pulled the kid over because he had a broken taillight and was speeding. Khalil wasn't speeding. He told me, "Pop, soon as I pulled him over, I had a bad feeling," says 115 Senior. Why is that? The interviewer asks. He said the kid and his friend immediately started cursing him out. We never cursed. And they kept glancing at each other like they were up to something. Brian says that's when he got scared because they could have taken him down if they teamed up. I could have taken anyone down. I was too afraid. He makes us sound like we're all superhumans, but we're kids. No matter how afraid he is, my son's still going to do his job, he says. And that's all he set out to do that night. There have been reports that Khalil Harris was unarmed when the incident took place. Has your son told you why he made the decision to shoot? Brian says he had his back to the kid and he heard the kid say, "I'm going to show you a someday." No, no, no. Khalil asked if I was okay. Brian turned around and saw something in the car door. He thought it was a gun. It was a hairbrush. His lips quiver. My body shakes. He covers his mouth to hold back a sob. I cover mine to keep from puking. Brian's a good boy, he says in tears. He only wanted to get home to his family, and people are making him out to be a monster. That's all Khalil and I wanted, and you're making us out to be monsters. I can't breathe. Like I'm drowning in the tears I refuse to shed. I won't give 115 or his father the satisfaction of crying. Tonight, they shot me too, more than once, and killed a part of me. Unfortunately for them, it's the part that felt any hesitation about speaking out. How has your son's life changed since this happened? The interviewer asks. All of our lives have been hell, honestly, his father claims. Brian's a people person, but now he's afraid to go out in public, even for something as simple as getting a gallon of milk. There have been threats on his life, our family's lives. His wife had to quit her job. He's even been attacked by by fellow officers. Physically or verbally? The interviewer asks. Both, he says. It hits me. Uncle Carlos's bruised knuckles. This is awful, Haley says. That poor family. She's looking at 115 Senior with sympathy that belongs to Brenda and Miss Rosalie. I blink several times. What? His son lost everything because he was trying to do his job and protect himself. His life matters too, you know? I cannot right now. I can't. I stand up, or otherwise I will say or do something really stupid, like punch her. I need to, yeah, I say all that I can and start for the door, but Maya grabs the tail of my cardigan. Whoa, whoa, you guys haven't worked this out yet, she says. Maya, I say, as calmly as possible, please let me go. I cannot talk to her. Did you not hear what she said? Are you serious right now? Haley asks. What's wrong with saying his life matters too? His life always matters more. My voice is gruff and my throat is tight. That's the problem. Star, Maya says, trying to catch me. I look at her. What's going on? You're Harry in Order of the Phoenix angry lately. Thank you, Haley says. She's been in mode for weeks, but wants to blame me. Excuse me? There's a knock on the door. Girls, is everything okay? Mrs. Yang asks. So obviously the moms heard the commotion and the discussion back and forth. We're fine, Mom. Video game stuff. Maya looks at me, lowers her voice. Please sit down. Please. I sit on her bed. Commercials replace 115 Senior on the TV and fill in the gap of silence we've created. I blurt out, Why did you follow my Tumblr? Haley turns toward me. What? You unfollowed? Or why did you unfollow my Tumblr? You unfollowed my Tumblr. Why? She glances at Maya, quickly, but I notice, and goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Cut the BS, Haley. You unfollowed me months ago. Why? She doesn't say anything. I swallow. Is it because of the Emmett Till picture? And again, see your email with the extra deer links to learn even more about Emmett Till. Oh my God, she says, standing up. Here we go again. I'm not going to stay here and let you accuse me of something, Star. You don't text me anymore, I say. You freaked out about that picture. Do you hear me? Haley says to Maya, once again calling me racist. I'm not calling you anything. I'm asking a question and giving you examples. You're insinuating. So that means you're suggesting. You know how we say reading between the lines or context clues or making an inference? You look at the big picture to realize what the meaning of something is. That's insinuating as well. So you're suggesting that I'm doing something. I never even mentioned race. Silence comes between us. Haley shakes her head. Her lips are thin. Unbelievable. She grabs her jacket off Maya's bed and starts for the door. She stops, and her back is to me. You want to really know why I unfollowed you, Star? Because I don't know who the hell you are anymore. She slams the door on her way out. The news program returns on the television. They show footage of protests all over the country, not just in Garden Heights. Hopefully, none of them used Khalil's death to skip class or work. Out of nowhere, Maya says, That's not why. She's staring at her closed door, her shoulders a bit stiff. Huh? I say. She's lying. Maya says, That's not why she unfollowed you. Sorry, I went too far. She said she didn't want to see that stuff on her dashboard. I figured. That Emmett Till picture, right? No, all the black stuff, she called it. The petitions, the Black Panther pictures, that post on those 4 little girls who were killed in that church, the stuff about the Marcus Garvey guy, the one about those Black Panthers who were shot by the government, Fred Hampton and Bobby Hutton, I say. Yeah, them. Wow, she's been paying attention. Why didn't you tell me? She stares at her plush fin on the floor. I hope she'd change her mind before you found out. I should have known better, though. It's not like there's the first effed up thing that she's ever done. What are you talking about? Maya swallows hard. Do you remember that time she asked if my family ate a cat for Thanksgiving? What? When? Her eyes are glossy. Freshman year, first period, Mrs. Edwards' biology class. We'd just gotten back from Thanksgiving break. Class hadn't started yet, and we were talking about what we did for Thanksgiving. I told you guys my grandparents visited, and it was their first time celebrating Thanksgiving. Haley asked if we ate a cat, because we're Chinese. Holy. I'm racking my brain right now. Freshman year is so close to middle school, there's a huge possibility I said or did something extremely stupid. I'm afraid to know, but I ask, what did I say? Nothing. You had this look on your face like you couldn't believe she said that. She claimed it was a joke and laughed. I laughed, and then you laughed. Maya blinks a lot. I only laughed because I thought I was supposed to. I felt like crap the rest of the week. Oh, yeah. And I feel like crap right now. I can't believe I let Haley say that. Or has she always joked like that? Did I always laugh because I thought I had to? That's the problem. We let people say stuff, and they say it so much that it becomes okay to them and normal for us. What's the point of having a voice if you're going to be silent in those moments you shouldn't be? Maya, I say, yeah? We can't let her get away with saying stuff like that again, okay? She cracks a smile. A minority alliance? Hell yeah, I say, and we laugh. All right, deal. So we'll stop there. Welcome to your Easter break. As you're getting ready to submit your last artifacts, don't forget to go back and revisit For the Love of Reading and your novel study project to get some credit. There are lots of activities to help you make sense of The Hate U Give a little bit deeper than our discussions here. And there's even a few activities that can win you prizes. So log in to Hero as well, all right? Don't just listen to our videos. Make sure to log in and earn your credit. Thanks for joining us today. I look forward to finding out more about Star and how she uses the power of her voice as we continue next week. Take care.